You've got to work hard for your success, and you've got to have a steady presence. That's the secret. Kid Rock, my friends, 10 to 15 minutes a day, that is all we ask. That steady presence, that hard work for your success, that is the secret. You will make it. Don't worry about how long it takes. It takes as long as it takes, and once you master the charts, the world's your oyster. You'll make up for all the time you spent, and you will be thankful the sooner you start. The sooner you will succeed, and it costs you nothing except, of course, the most precious thing you have. You might not believe this, but that's your time. Let's jump into these charts. Everything down for the day except Bitcoin. It's up 1.56%. See what we see on the S&P 500 continuing to move down 0.76%. We're, of course, waiting for the STC to reset now that we've moved below the 200 EMA. What does the 200 EMA show us? It shows us where we are. Are we in an uptrend or a downtrend on each of our separate time periods? We are in a downtrend on this half-day chart. Where are we on the 2-day? Of course, it has recently blown through the 200 EMA. We're in a downtrend there. STC's also gone negative. What about the weekly? When we look at the weekly, you have to move the chart up a little bit. You can see we're back on the 13th of June. We touched the 200 EMA and then blasted up through, away from it rather, and over the last 2 weeks heading down, still green on the STC. So again, waiting patiently to see how things are going to shake out. We need a reset on this STC before we would think about jumping into a down move. Now, what do we see on the Qs? All of it's very similar, except the Qs has been bouncing around over the last 2 days about the same spot. Are we going to see things level out here, maybe move up a little bit, reset the STC? That might happen. Like the NASDAQ 100, like the S&P 500, has blown through the 200 EMA on the 2-day chart. We're red on the STC, and we look at the weekly. And of course, we see where we have 2 weeks of down movement where it bounced off a few weeks back, did it several times, bouncing off the 200 EMA and then heading up. So just waiting for things to reset on that half-day chart to give us an opportunity to jump into some down moves or to blast back up through the 200 EMA and let us get in a long move. My folks, we don't care, my friends, whether things are going up or going down. We have options either way, and if you can read a chart, you shouldn't care. You just follow the chart. Now, let's look at what is going on 20-year bonds. We can see where things are heading up as far as the STC goes, but down for the day. Again, hopefully this is going to be resetting for us. We talked about how trying to set for this move here was incorrect. Why? Because we were in that middle band. We don't make trades in the middle band, right? That is right. We have to have things top out. I'm glad to see things moving up. Perhaps it's going to reset for us, cross back over going down, and give us the ability to jump into a down move. The last time we tried to do that, you can see how it did not work. Down, up, and then rolled over, up, and started moving down. Again, it's been sloppy as of late. That's okay. We're coming out of the summertime trading zone, coming into the fall-winter trading zone. Things are going to get better and better if it follows the typical pattern, which, of course, was completely ignored during COVID. But hopefully things are resetting. Remember, all market crashes occur in the month of what? October. So we're heading toward October. Let's just wait. Let's see. Regardless, we're not going to try to push these charts. We're going to follow them. So down for the day on bonds. What do we see on the 2-day? Of course, it's gone to green also, which is really bizarre. I mean, all this down weight and then one green spinning top and things rotate up. Is that not interesting? I find that very interesting. Can't explain that one to you. We look at what's going on the weekly. It's still green also. Now, don't forget, own bonds. Look how far below the 200 EMA we are. Wow. That's just crazy. We have to tighten this up like crazy to even see it. And of course, we are below the 200 EMA on the 2-day also. as well as, because, remember, bonds have been going down for quite a while. So we'll wait, watch, and see. Typically in the past, of course, bonds are what? A safe haven when the market's not doing well. Well, we live in a strange world where reality doesn't always seem to make sense. It seems many times like fantasy, but we use these charts to help us to see what should be seen. Now, let's move away from bonds into gold. Gold down for the day 0.77%. We did take a chunk out of the prior down move in gold where we had the rotation over on the STC. Gave us a chance to make 1.58% in that down move. Things went and bottomed out, went up for a few days, and now we've gone down again. We did not manage, though, to see our STC move all the way up above this line. We like it to reset totally. It went green and then red again. That's not the kind of trigger we use for a pull. You might say, but Tom, we could have jumped it. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. It's so easy to Monday morning quarterback everything. The reason we have the rules is because what tends to work the most often as opposed to happenstance. Again, practice trade all this stuff, learn from it, put down your notes. Every single stock and ETF has its own personality. That's why I encourage you to always pick out your favorite ETFs, your favorite stocks, follow them, take notes, use the information that we have available to you so that you're able to use your trade worksheet. And that helps you go through each trade, document what it is you're learning, what worked, why, what didn't work, why. Helps you put together your whole trading Bible. And again, that kind of stuff is extremely important in helping you master these things. So gold heading down on that half-day chart, still in the red. 2-day chart, many days of down movement. It turned over into the red recently back there on that candle from August the 29th. And what's up with the weekly? Weekly also, now we're still above the 200 EMA on the weekly, but it is heading toward it again. We bounced off it back there on July the 11th and 18th, the week beginning both those days. And again, looks like we're approaching it again. So let's see where gold is gonna go. Lastly, we'll move back to our half-day chart. We'll take a look at where Bitcoin is. Let's stretch this out a little bit so we can see those candles a little better. Bitcoin up some for the day, 1.56%. We can see that we are still quite in the red here on the STC. Bitcoin, is it going to move down to these most recent low? Well, the most recent lows it's blown through. Is it going to hit the lows back in mid-July? Don't know. We'll wait, we'll watch, we'll see. Like we said, below the 200 EMA. We look at the 2-day, where are we there? Of course, again, we see things sort of moving down. Still green on the STC there after several days of up movement. We'll see how Bitcoin continues to move. And on the weekly, it's been red. 4 weeks of up movement, 3 weeks of down movement. We'll see if maybe we can find a bottom around here. Wouldn't that be nice to have Bitcoin sort of level out and start reclawing its way up? I'm ready for that to happen, but it hadn't happened yet, my friends. That's where we are as we end the day on Wednesday. Don't forget, Patreon members, we will be doing your charting crypto soon as I get this podcast finished and loaded up. I'll be knocking that out for you, sending it out in your email, and of course, always uploading it at our Patreon site. If you're not a Patreon supporter, you appreciate what we do. Remember, the things you support tend to stay around. We appreciate you. God bless. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.